there's 0% chance you save this tunnel once they've discovered it. The idea that a dozen young Jewish men could fight the police off and preserve this was insane. The only reason they would then do it is if their ideology was stronger than their logic. In their minds, they're thinking, I know we'll lose, but for this reason, we must fight to protect our secret tunnel.
Yeah. I think it's hilarious. I've got the Wikipedia, the guy that they're talking about that has passed away. His name is Menachem Mendel Schneerson. I swear to God, I'm not making this up. I'm going to copy the Wikipedia on the guy.
I got it right here.
Yeah. So
Menachem Mendel Schneerson.
Yeah. And
so he's dead.
Yeah.
But they believe he was a deity or something.
This particular sect apparently believes that he is the Messiah, and he was well loved by people in the community, and I guess in according to Jews and stuff. But there are people.
The leader
that
of the Chabad Lubavitch movement.
How do the tunnels come into play here, though?
They didn't want to be held down by the man. They wanted to be able to get to synagogue, man.
Oh, this was because of COVID lockdown.
Well, that's what people say. That's what people say, but it's years later now, right? They're still not locked down. So why would people still? I
gotta be honest. If young men built tunnels so they could go and worship their First Amendment right when the oppressive dictatorship of the state was trying to suppress their constitutional right, that's based.
Yeah, I mean, 100%.
Don't fight cops.
But what? Yeah, but what are they still doing down there? If it's, I guess if you have a cool tunnel, like you still use the cool tunnel. But I don't know if that's the explanation.
They are men.
There's got to be something else. Yeah,
but exactly. there's a very interesting question to be had in this case. What we saw in New York with the shutting down of churches and synagogues was unconstitutional. Judges had ruled it unconstitutional, and Cuomo said, "Go ahead, I'll just make another executive order and shut these things down." The people who were committing the crimes were the police officers trying to stop people from expressing their First Amendment rights. The Constitution's the law of the land. In which case, these young men who built a tunnel to be able to go into the synagogue to worship when they were being oppressed by the dictatorship, by the communist authorities, they were in the right.
Yes, clearly. I mean, the lockdowns were the most clearly unconstitutional, especially when in the context of people that wanted to go and practice their religion. I personally am not a believer, but it's protected in the Constitution clearly. There's no ambiguity about you have the right to assemble and you have the right to practice your religion. There's the country can't make, the state can't make laws regarding religion. So clearly they had no authority to do that. And there's been no, nothing's happened since. Nobody lost their jobs. No one got fired, let's
segue this story about secret Jewish tunnels in the most likely and appropriate direction. Mm-hmm. Civil War. So when we are now dealing with a question of at what point, let me put it this way. This show is always about being on the correct side of law. Don't break the law. You handle things appropriately. If the cops come to stop you, you comply, and then you fight in court because fighting a cop on the street doesn't do anything for you. There are limits, however, and people ask this question. At what point must you defy a police officer? Well, obviously, if the police officer is committing a crime, you are not obeying the law by obeying a police officer who's committing a crime, right? Like if a cop went and was robbing a bank and then ordered you under threat of law to help fill his duffel bags, you should not do that. I mean, well, I'm not going to tell you what to do because if he's threatening your life.
Yeah.
But if he says, if you don't do this, I'll arrest you. I'd be like, bro, you're the one committing the crime. I'm not going to do this. Herein lies the big challenge. We are dangerously close to this point. Nay, we are already in it, where we are seeing police officers engage in illegal activity. We are seeing Border Patrol officers engage in illegal activity.